So in last episode, we flew from Hawaii to North Carolina, picked up our tow vehicle, drove all the way over to Western North Carolina, picked up our trailer, had some issues, and now we're headed back to Western North Carolina and trying to sort out some of our issues. And that's going to be our reality for the next
our lullaby
10 days. So military RV parks are cheap, but they're usually in training areas and places that have a lot of noise. So the Smith Lake Recreation Area is a pretty nice area here at Camp Liberty, or Fort Liberty, which used to be Fort Bragg in Fayetteville, North Carolina. It's got bathhouses, all the amenities you want, and we're on the partial hookup site, which is pretty nice. They have pull-throughs, and then they have full hook sites that are back in. But right now we're going to go and offload the poop tank. That's the nice thing about having a cassette toilet is you don't have to take the whole trailer. You can just pull the cassette, or you know, one of those little porta potties. Let's see here. Dump station. It says the dump station is this way. So these are the full hookup back end sites, and we stayed at these last time we were here. So I have the Americanizer, which takes these cassette toilets, and basically what you do is you put this piece on here, and it allows you to put a regular sewer hose on here. A little thumb vent right here, so when you pour it, it just vents out. Our Americanizer in there? Yeah, that Americanizer, I think you can get them on Amazon. Makes this process so much easier. So here's a quick update. I've got everything torn out, and I'm checking the motherboard on this, and I don't see, there's one fuse here that's good, and then I was checking to see if there's anything else that was wrong, but I don't see anything. There was some of the other ones, there's another fuse down here, but on this one there's not. And I've got power going in, so this is positive and negative, so I think this board is just gave out or went bad or something, so I think we're just going to delete this, not even mess with it. The issues keep kind of coming. So when I bought this, it was not technically new, but it had never been used. It was almost like a demo. But I took it on that, 1,500 mile trip or so. I thought all the kinks would have been ironed out, but clearly not. So now what's going on is this light right here, which is up here, not wanting to come on. It was flickering, and now it's not wanting to come on. So I'm thinking that it's just loose back behind it, so I gotta take this panel off and see what's going on. It's this, but just, oh. I don't know what the problem is. Oh, it's the fuse is loose. Interesting. I didn't think to check the fuse being loose. But at least now I know what's behind there. So we're at Lowe's. I'm gonna go in and see if I can get some more of these connectors. This type of, I don't know what you call these connectors, but there's the one where you slide them in and they lock in place, and then to get them off you press in and they just slide out. It's actually pretty ingenious. So I can try to wire this thing. Give me some options. Also need some D batteries for this hot water heater for the ignition system. Alright, so I found some polyethylene tubing. I think that's what this is. Non-toxic, lead-free. Yeah, so finding stuff in Lowe's for plumbing or Home Depot or wherever you're at, they always make it so difficult. Oh well. I just wanted to get this tubing and a whole bunch of extra little pieces of that quick disconnect, and also some stuff that will end it so I can cut off the end so I can get it wired up properly. That took an hour to find like 5 things. All these stores are just, when it comes to plumbing stuff, it's just such a pain in the butt. So we're gonna go back and see if we can make it work. I took out where the outdoor shower was, right here. And I've just got, this is cold out and this will be hot in. And that's what I'll do. And eventually what I'm gonna do is, I think right here I'm gonna cut a hole and mount an actual RV tankless water heater right here. But that'll be down the road. We don't have time to do it on this trip. So when I get that other on demand, I'll just keep it outside and put it here. If I had my Jolka, it would work perfect, but I don't have my Jolka. Well, we're on our way to the Fort Liberty Hospital emergency room. Harrison, I think he has an ear infection. He's had a cold. And now he's been tugging at his ears and he's been crying and going kind of crazy. He's a little bit better now, but he's basically been crying for the last hour and a half or so and kind of going, you know, all over the place. So we're headed to the ERC. This is interesting. So, not only does he have an ear infection, but he has RSV, which is respiratory something virus, which means that I probably have it, Catherine has it, and his brother probably has it. So, we got some antibiotics for the ear infection, Tylenol Motrin for the RSV, and then we're just gonna keep an eye on him. Additionally, we went in there, first we were checking in, the nurse was like, oh, we have to do a rectal temperature. I was like, no, you don't. He doesn't even have I mean, he had a fever, but he has Motrin. He doesn't have a fever now. They tried to tell me it was mandatory, but it's not. They're lying to you. So I told them, no, we're not going to do it. And they were like, oh, okay. But they sure try to make it, it's policy. We have to do rectal. It's like, no. It's like saying you got a flat tire, you go take it in, and they're like, oh, we need to take the axle off. If there was a reason for to do rectal, I'd be like, okay, that's fine. But there was no reason. He didn't even have a fever. So we're gonna head back and give him this. Well, probably gonna wait till the morning to give him the, I don't know, we'll see. Because it's every 12 hours. I don't want to have to get up at, it's currently 2:20 in the morning. I don't want to get up every 2:20 in the morning. So we'll probably wait till like 6 and then give it to him then. Alright, well, the rain has started and we gotta get to Discount Tire because we're running late. Took a shower this morning. Harrison's doing better this morning. Indiana's starting to get more of like a croupy cough, which, you know, hopefully it doesn't get too bad. The one thing that we're hoping for on Indiana, because he's 6 months old, is, and he's still breastfeeding, is
turn right.
I forgot my sunglasses. That's all right. That Catherine was sick to begin with, so
in a quarter mile, turn left.
We're hoping the antibodies from her will have transferred over to him, and it kind of helps him not get as sick because of those antibodies. But he's still getting, you know, kind of a croupy cough, so we'll see. Oh man, this road. We'll go over here. So here's the tire. You can see it's pretty much gone, and the other one is not any better. All right, well, so these look, they're like a BF Goodwrench kind of copycat look, but they look a lot more aggressive than the HTs for sure, and even the ATs. So we're gonna look kind of dumb, but you know, that's all right. I just can't see swapping out the tires in the back because they're brand new. So I will say these these tires, the Rocky Mountain All-Terrains, are the Discount Tire brand tire, and they're made by Falken. Now I've long loved Falken tires. I've had Falken tires on almost all my vehicles, the Wild Pig AT3Ws. Now I also love the KO2s. You know, I think that if you go with either tire, the KO2 or the Falken Wild Pig AT3W, you can't go wrong. It's just, you know, aesthetically, or maybe you've read an article and people get very passionate about tires. But these Rocky Mountain ATs are made by Falken. They look like BF Goodrich KO2s, but they're kind of noisy. It's not crazy, but I can 100% tell a massive difference from my bald HT tires, which, you know, clearly that makes sense, right? Highway tires, bald pretty much, to an all-terrain, a fairly aggressive all-terrain. You know, they're definitely road noise, you know. So they look okay. I like the looks of them, you know. We'll see how they perform. We're going to do this trip, and the next round of tires are either going to be KO2s or AT3Ws, just depending on what I can get and the price. Well, the rain is finally here. As long as we don't have any wind, it'll be all right. So we have the awning up. If that wind starts up, and it's supposed to get windy at some point, it kind of sucks. We don't have any excuse me, protection until that Gazelle G6 gets here, which will be Friday. Once the G6 gets here, we can set it, you know, right out here, and that'll provide. It'll basically take the place of this. These are nice, but they, you know, again, the slightest little wind come along, and they can ripple right off. All right, so the drama that is the hot water situation, I think we can chalk up to me being an idiot to some degree. So the Truman system is done for. It's garbage. It's junk. And if it wasn't junk, it is now. It's been sitting in the rain for 2 days. So that motherboard is fried. I'm just going to toss this thing in the garbage. So I ordered this right here, this Gasland. And it didn't work, right? I spent 3 hours troubleshooting it. I got all the lines hooked up, everything. And so I did it's Amazon, so I did a refund, or a replacement. So I sent the other one back, dropped it off the UPS store, got this one in, and then also, in the meantime, just to kind of make sure that, you know, I have my bases covered, because I think we're going to need hot water. I mean, we're going to need hot water. I ordered this Camplux here, and this Camplux is the bigger one. It's the Pro Series. It's got a little display on it and all this other stuff, and it has a lot higher throughput. In fact, the throughput on that Camplux there, it's a 2.68 gallon per minute or something like that, is more than I can even give to it right now. I have to turn the gas almost all the way down to off, or it overheats, and the override protection kicks on. Anything over 120 degrees, I think it override kicks on. So the first thing I did was hook up this Gasland, right? Hooked it up, worked just fine. Then I hooked up the Camplux, and the Camplux was doing the exact same thing that the other one was doing. It wasn't kicking on the igniter for the gas. And also, when you turn the water all the way to the lowest position, it was killing the water, and you couldn't turn it back on. So I was like, man, did I get another bad one? I was like, man, this is why I ordered 2 of them, right? So I got to looking, and the thing is, I have these lines ran coming out of the Mantis. So the Mantis had here, let me turn the light on. So the Mantis had a shower unit coming out here with a quick disconnect, hot and cold, and they came from inside, right? So I took that out, and then I ran input. So this right here, this top line is the output water, and the bottom line is the input to the hot water. And I just tapped it into the current system where the Truma was going into. But they're not marked, right? So what I had done is I was putting, and I think almost 100% sure I did this with the first one. The first one probably was just fine. There was nothing wrong with it. I put the input to the out and the output to the in. And when you do that, it'll pass through water, but it won't ignite the igniter. And then when you turn the handle here all the way to the low position, it will like shut the water off and won't turn the water back on unless you depressurize it. So let me turn this back off. So I'm pretty sure, about 100% sure, what I did was I had the water lines reversed, going the wrong way on the first one I got, and so that means that the first one works just fine. So I went through all that rigmarole, all that hassle to send it back for nothing. The other thing that I found out, I kind of already knew this, but I found out these. So this Gasland, all right. You look at the igniter box right there, and you look at all the components, and then you come over here and you look at the Camplux. Oh, look at the igniter box. Look at all the components there. They're identical. They're the exact same. So these are made in the same factory. They just put a different name on them. So Camplux, Gasland, no matter what brand you buy these things, they're all coming out of the same factory, the same place. So, you know, it doesn't matter what brand you buy, I don't think. They're all the same. However, something else that is neat about this. So this Gasland, and let me see where we're sending this here. It comes with this little cap here on the top, and it says that it's funny in the diagram. When you pull it out of the box, it says for outdoor use only, but on the Amazon diagram, it says, oh, well, if you hook up an exhaust to this, you can run this indoors. And I think you probably could, you know, as long as you had like 3 propane and carbon monoxide detectors inside a closed space for redundancy, and you had this vented to a vent pipe, I think you'd be fine. But, you know, is it how you're supposed to do that? No. So, the other one came with this cold weather, this inclement weather cap right here, and you put it on the top, and it's a rain cap to keep rain out. And so I was like, well, does that mean that it's, you know, I can have it in the water or out in the rain in the elements? It's got that digital display on there. I don't necessarily think it does. I think light mist will be okay. I think a heavy duty downpour, you know, is probably eventually going to cause a fault in these things. So I'm going to keep both of them just for backup, and then I also have the Joko system, which the Joko system is not the same as these are. It's similar, but it's you know, it's got a little more curved edges on it, and it's a different design. Internally, you know, they're identical, but either one of these that you buy, I think you'll be just fine with. Just make sure you hook up the lines appropriately.
Alright, so that's going to do it for this episode. Thanks for watching. Give me your feedback on what you think I should do with the Mantis. Should I gut it completely, like make it my own, partially gut it? You know, give me what you would do as I try to figure out what I'm going to do. So thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.